Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I'm trying to do 2 looks today. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try my best. I need to catch up somewhere along the line. But for this video, we are going to do a Todoroki look from My Hero Academia. It's funny, I just realized that this is my 2nd anime look of the year. I think I only did 1 last year. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's basically half ice, half fire. Fun fact about this one, I actually did, so I'm a cosmetologist. I actually have my cosmetology license, but years back I had tried to do like an online makeup artistry schooling. I've always just like grown up loving makeup and just like tried things that my mom taught me, things that we like learned on YouTube and all that type of stuff. That's where like the majority of my makeup knowledge has come from. But I did try to do this online makeup schooling to try to have like a certificate to back me or whatever when I was actually like doing makeup for people. But the funny part is that towards the end, I kind of like signed up for the one that had a little bit of everything. So like wedding makeup, special effects makeup, like all that type of stuff. And I actually tried to do a Todoroki makeup look for one of them. And I remember my teacher just looking at it and literally he would respond like with audio messages and he was like, I don't even know what this is. What is this? So my goal for this video is to prove Nathan wrong and to kill this because he probably didn't even know who the character was. All right, so let's just dive right in. So if you didn't know anything about the character, the biggest thing is that he just has like this big burn mark on his face. Basically the rest of his face is just normal. It's a cartoon character, that sort of a thing. So I don't really know how to tackle this. I think that I might just start to do like some of my regular base makeup and just do this eye normal. Basic, just super basic, and then we'll go in with the burn. And I have a wig, but like half of his head has red hair, the other half has white. So my intention is to clip it on half of my head. We'll see. Okay, so I'm just gonna start out how I've been normally starting out with my base routine. So for foundation, I'm just gonna use a combo of the Revlon PhotoReady Candid Concealer and a little bit of the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. And if you haven't seen me do this in the past few videos, the reason why I do a combo of these two is because the Revlon one I absolutely am obsessed with, but it's not the shade that I need. And the Too Faced Born This Way concealer is probably like the lightest concealer that I own. So it just, I don't know, it's like a good mixture of the two. Does anyone else's cat just wake up with violence in mind? Because but like the thing is he was sweet like 10 minutes ago. When I was on the couch, he was snuggling me. He was just sitting there purring, being all sweet. The moment that I come into this room and I turn this camera on and I get started on my makeup looks, he's like, I'm gonna scratch up all the walls. Also, same thing goes with this look as with all of my videos. In the middle of doing all of this, I'm also filming a TikTok. I'm actually doing 2 different TikToks for this look, so don't miss them. So yeah, after you are done watching this, one of them will be posted along with this video. So head on over there to see the cute little TikToks I make. And then after, I also take pictures. So head over to my Instagram to just check out all of the content. Don't miss any of the content. Come on, guys. And then on the left side, because that's where the big like burn mark is gonna be, I'm not like doing anything really with my eye or like the top of my forehead here, but I am going to cover these little blemishes here and just kind of like cover the bottom half of my cheek. Okay, so then after all of this is laid down, I'm going to set it with the Beauty Bakerie Pinch of Flour Setting Powder. And I've been using just a brush to kind of like brush over everything, and then under my eyes and over any blemishes, I'll take my sponge and just bake that. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and contour as normal, just using my Anastasia light to medium contour kit. And usually when I'm contouring using this palette, I use the lightest contour shade with just like a dab of the medium. And I'm brushing just a little bit of contour onto the crease of my eye, because I'm not really doing any eyeshadow with this look. I'm just doing like basics on this side, and this will just kind of add a little bit of definition. And I am contouring this side because Even though like I think some of the red is probably gonna cover up at least the top of it. I still want like the bottom half of the contour peeking through. And then just blending that out with my brush that I use to set everything with. And then I'm just going basic with my blush. Again, going super basic on this side. Nothing super crazy fun yet. So I'm dipping into my Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink blush. Again, some of this blush is probably gonna get covered on this side, but I just wanna make sure that anything that is showing is still like meshing with the other side of my face. And then I always just take a brush that has literally nothing on it and I just dab over top of that blush and around the edges just to make it mesh with the rest of my face. And then just adding a little bit of the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I don't even know if this highlight's even going to show at all on this side. we'll just put it just in case. And then I'm just gonna take this like little more precise brush and take a little bit more of that highlighter and just highlight the inner corner of my eye on this side. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do just this brow off camera. I'm gonna do this brow after I do the big red part and all of that. Okay, so this brow is done. I'm gonna go ahead and do some mascara just on the top lashes. I'm not doing the bottom lashes. And I'm just using the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. And then I'm gonna pop on some of the Kiss Naked Drama Ruffle lashes. And then we'll dive right into this side. Okay, so I think that this is pretty much good for like the normal side of my face. So now I'm just gonna dive into doing this burn. Fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. I'm also really nervous because I'm using some of those Beauty Creations color bases and they're red. And red is like known to stain. So at least I have another day off tomorrow. I have another day to get it all off before I go back to work. Okay, so before immediately going in with the red, I'm just gonna kind of outline the area with just like a white pencil. This one's from Wet n Wild. It's like I've had this forever. It's their Kohl eyeliner in the shade You're Always White. Is that a play on You're Always Right? And it comes like down here and then swerves over. And then the lowest point is somewhere down here. And I'm not being like super careful with this line because like I said, the line is real squiggly around it. You can tell how old this is because it just keeps falling apart. Okay, I think that's pretty decent, that little outline there. Okay, and then for the color, I'm kind of gonna mix some things. I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Creations Color Base Primer in the shade Rockstar, which is the red one. I'm scared of you. But then I'm also gonna take the Wet n Wild paint palette. It's the neutral one, and they have like this color. I'm gonna mix some of that in there to kind of like deepen it a little bit. And then, I don't know, I might mix some other things. I'll figure out the shade and then I'll tell you what I did. How about that? Okay, so this is the color that I ultimately ended up mixing. Like I said, I did those same two colors, just the Beauty Creations and then the deep color in here. I did take a tiny little bit of this skin color one just to kind of like tone it down a little bit. I don't know if it actually did anything, but that's what I did. And I'm using two different brushes for this. I'm just gonna use like this little guy here to go around like the smaller edges, and I'm gonna use this one that I used for the She Go look the other day, and it still has some green on it. So let's just hope that the red is dark enough to cancel that out, because this is what I'm gonna use to fill it all in. Oh, that looks scary. I didn't even realize that looks scary. Now I'm just gonna switch over to the bigger brush here. All right, now that we look insane. It's so shiny too on camera, so it looks even weirder. Okay, so now I'm gonna set that using the Coty Airspun powder, but I'm gonna do something very similar to what I did with the She Go look, if you saw that at all. I'm gonna use Coty Airspun. I'm just gonna empty into the top of an empty powder container because I don't want to contaminate this with red and then get red all over my regular makeup. And I'm just gonna use this fluffy powder brush that's also stained with green. I'm gonna try really hard to not like cross over into the rest of my makeup because I don't want to get little dots of red all over the rest of my face. Also, I didn't go crazy up into my hairline right here just because I'm gonna have my hair like down and I don't think you're even really gonna see that. I kind of like the color that this is like toning it down to as well. It looks a little bit more accurate to his. I'm trying to figure out though a better way to do this because I didn't think about it, and like there's no way of not crisscrossing the red into the rest of my face. So what do I do? Okay, so this is the only way that I'm thinking that I could do this without getting red all over the makeup that I already did, is I'm just gonna empty like a whole, not a whole bunch of this, but like a decent amount of powder into the top. And I'm gonna use this giant Sonia Kashuk sponge and just kind of like load up this whole side and then try to cover as much as possible in one stamp. And then I'll like turn it and do a different side and do, do you know what I mean? I don't know, it makes sense. It makes sense in my head. Right? Right? Okay. Okay. All right. See, like I didn't turn it and it did that a little bit, but it's fine. And then I'm just gonna use like the very tip of this, like right up under my eye, because I wasn't really able to get in there very well with the brush, and I just want to make sure that that is all set. Okay. I think this is gonna work. I know it looks wild. I think it's gonna work though. So I'm just wiping that powder brush and then sweep it away. And then just taking like a little one of my regular brushes. I'm not going to touch the red with this, but I am going to just dust away the powder that crisscrossed over. Okay, and then because around the edges, like that powder kind of didn't dust off, and I'm really afraid to get that close with any of my like face brushes or anything, I'm just gonna take the BPerfect Carnival 3 palette, and I'm gonna grab some of the shade Chili Pepper, this dark red one here, just on like a little brush like this, and just kind of go around the edges and kind of like, I don't know, add some dimension, add some color, different reds and stuff, you know? And I kind of like that this red is kind of like adding some different like dimension. So I'm gonna also use this just like in the crease of my eye here. Kind of like how I added like a contour shade to the crease on the other side. I don't know, I think that this will look kind of neat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this eyebrow off camera. Usually with this, brow, what I do normally is I'll go in with like a brow marker and make all the little marks, and then I'll underline it with like a dark brown so that it kind of just looks like powdered in. I'm gonna do a similar thing on this side, but instead of using a brown eyeshadow to fill it in, I'm gonna use that same red shadow from the BPerfect palette to fill it in. And then we'll see. I'm also gonna just do my mascara, top mascara, same lash, and then I'll come back to do the lips. Okay, so brow and lashes are all done. I also added a little bit of sparkle to the inner corner, and I ended up using the Mikayla Glamlite palette, and I just took a little bit of sparkly right here and just dab that on the inner corner. So now while this lash glue is still drying, I just have Blistex on my lips, but I'm gonna go ahead and line them just using the MAC Soar Lip Liner. I'm not gonna do like any crazy color on my lips. This one is actually like similar to the natural color of my lips, so I'm just gonna line them and then probably just like pop a gloss on. Okay, and then just as my gloss, I'm going to use the NYX This Is Juice Gloss in Watermelon Sugar. These smell so good, by the way. I love these glosses. Okay, so this is it for the makeup. I'm just going to go ahead and set it with some NYX Matte Setting Spray. Alrighty guys, so this is pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this wig on. So this side of my hair, I'm just going to straighten, which I have not straightened my hair in so long. But I'm gonna bring it down and straighten this side, and then I'm going to attempt to braid this one, like French braid it back so that there's something that I can clip the wig to. Please just wish me luck. Otherwise, all of this was just a waste of time. So I'm gonna go get into the rest of my costume and I will be right back. How did I do? Don't you dare make fun of me for not being able to tie a tie. There's never been a reason for me to know how to tie a tie. And I've tried it so many times. I watch the videos. They're like, oh, I can do this in 10 seconds. It's no problem. And I'm just sitting there like not comprehending. Here we go. You don't even want to know how many bobby pins are holding this wig on the side of my head or how long it took for me to get it to even look this way. I also scuffed it just like lightly against my face, but we just will forget about that part. Also, I really like myself with this hair color. This is fun. This is a fun hair color. So the wig, this is a full wig. What I ended up doing is I Dutch braided this half of my head and kept the braid like right up here. And then I basically flipped the wig inside out and upside down on my head, if that makes any sense. And then I took a bunch of bobby pins and put it through the cap into like all of my hair. And then like I said, all I did with this side is I just ran a flat iron through it, and then I tried to tease it so that it would kind of be the same volume as this. It keeps deflating. This little gray thing is like just like one of those little, not a kimono, but like kind of that sort of thing that I've just had forever. This white button up, I believe maybe came from either my mom or my Nana. And then this tie is actually the tie that my dad wore to my wedding, because this was like our color, black, white, and this. So yeah, this is my take on Todoroki. How did I do, Nathan? How did I do, Nathan? I think I did pretty darn good this year. I think I've gotten much better since I was going through my makeup schooling. No one tell him. No one tell him I said that. He works on celebrities and stuff. He knows what he's talking about. It's just between us. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button down below and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because come on, you're like so behind the times at this point. And don't forget, I was making 2 different TikToks throughout this whole thing. So head over to TikTok to check out one of them immediately after. The other one will probably go up sometime tonight. And then head over to my Instagram to see the photos, like, comment, nice things, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Here are my handles. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, a great night, whatever time of day it is when you are watching this, and I will see you in the next spooky Halloween video. Bye.